The Skip Bayless stuff is mad. Is genuinely mad. So I'm not really going to play too much of it. But for Caitlin's sake, I don't love what Aliyah said about Kelsey Mitchell. And this was obviously before the podcast clip started doing the rounds. And the podcast clip was nothing really until what she said came up. And then you've got even clip based 5 hours ago. What Aaliyah Boston said disturbs me. Because we all know Caitlin Clark has enough issues with the rest of the league despising her. And I'm going to be real here. I've said this plenty of times, like, the Aaliyah Boston situation has really fucked with her perception publicly, and it's going to continue to do that. Like, every time Aaliyah Boston looks off Caitlin Clark from now on, it's going to be seen as sabotage. Every time Aaliyah Boston shoots a three instead of swinging the rock one more time, it's going to be seen as sabotage. If a lot of voters are going to vote for Aaliyah, or are going to take any voter who doesn't have Caitlin Clark on their all W teams, or the first time a journalist comes out and says not the best player on her own team, Aaliyah is going to get blamed for it. Like, she had two opportunities to name both players, and she took neither. And the Paige one was extremely egregious. It was extremely, extremely egregious. But that being said, like, we've now got, and look, you can say what you want about 2025 Skip Bayless, but to make the point of that the Aaliyah Boston stuff has transcended WNBA circles. It really has. It has transcended WNBA circles. It is bigger. It is bigger than the WNBA right now. There are certain things that hit mainstream. And we all know kind of, when it comes down to it, what way these things go. It starts off by Twitter complaining about something, then the likes of Outkick complaining about something, and then it starts to hit Fox News, and then it trickles in, it starts to hit the likes of Fox News, the Skip Baylesses of the world, the podcasters of the world, and then it starts to hit the overall mainstream media. And most stories in the WNBA are 1 to 2 days late. I think we all know that, because that kind of is the way the media is. Like, narratives start on Twitter, then they start getting pushed by the likes of Outkick, or on the other, or certain people that are just, funneled by trendy hoop stars. And that's kind of the way this whole thing goes. It is the way all of this goes. And I said no one will cry if say Caitlin or not Kelsey Mitchell. Yes, they would. Yes, they would. Do you really think that if they that there wouldn't be the same thing? That there wouldn't be up if she said Caitlin Clark instead of Kelsey Mitchell? Do you not think that everything would be like, that's what people would be talking about? Do you not realize that that's all the actual players would be saying? You would be hearing former players, people would be going out on Twitter to call her out. It wouldn't pretty much be a situation where straight up, Jesus, I blanked on what I was saying there. But I'm just trying to push a narrative to get into the Fever locker room again by pushing players against each other. No, I'm ironically not. I'm doing the opposite. A Fever player, optically, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Optically, has put one superstar guard over the other superstar guard. A Fever player has optically done that. We are in a world where there are fans on every side. As I have said, there are groups of fans that believe the entire Fever team, from the front office to the organization to her teammates, are out to get Caitlin Clark. And there are other fans that think Caitlin Clark is a cancer and the worst thing that could happen to the Fever. The problem is, by picking one superstar guard over the other, you have effectively not proved both and right, given both sides ammo for their divisive claims. In that scenario there is no world where Aaliyah Boston's answer should be anything other than we have first and second in the MVP race. We have the top 2 in the MVP race. There's no world where answer should be anything other than that. Because Sophie was asked the same question. And you want to know what Sophie did? Not only talked about both Kelsey and Caitlin, put Aliyah in the MVP conversation, who has no right to be in the MVP conversation. Why? Because you want to put Aaliyah Boston in that conversation so that 3 of them make an all WNBA team. So that 3 of them make an all WNBA team. That's what you should want as a Fever. Because let's be very clear. Angel Wilson's winning MVP, whether you like it or not. Angel Wilson was complete dog shit yesterday. She has been terrible. She's been terrible post All-Star break. As in, she's not even been the best player on her team post All-Star break. And she's somehow gotten further. She has somehow become more of a favorite for the MVP race. She's not even been the best player on her team post All-Star break. I don't think people understand. She has the opposite of voter fatigue. You have to have the greatest season of all time to beat Angel Wilson for MVP. You do. You absolutely do. Because no one gives a shit when Angel Wilson plays badly. No one gives a shit when Jackie Young bails out Angel Wilson. But if Kelsey Mitchell bails out Caitlin, Caitlin sucks. Caitlin bails out Kelsey Mitchell, Kelsey sucks. There is only a spotlight in the Fever players. Nobody cares. So if you are the Fever players, it is you against the world. There is no world where you should be in the same room as somebody saying that Olivia Miles and Paige Bueckers are better than either of your guards and get away with it. And that goes for Kelsey and that goes for Caitlin. If it was Caitlin's name instead of Kelsey Mitchell in that scenario, Aliyah should be pushing for Kelsey Mitchell too. In no world should you ever not support your teammates. If you are asked who the best shooter in the WNBA is, and you are Aaliyah Boston, the answer is, I'm the best shooting big, Sophie Cunningham's the best catch and shoot player, and Caitlin Clark's the best shooter off the dribble. It's as simple as that. When you play on a team, you've got to do that, especially when there are so many people on all sides trying to tear them apart. And there is one side, again, that believes that everyone's against Caitlin Clark and trying to sabotage her. And another side, I think Caitlin Clark's a cancer and want her gone and that she sucks. And by putting Kelsey Mitchell above Caitlin Clark, you have essentially given both of them ammo to push their narratives. So I don't like when the players talk about, the fans are trying to divide them. Everybody knows what fan narratives are. If you are throwing gasoline on the flames of the fans, you cannot complain about them trying to divide it. Because we all know the exact narratives that people, whether they're your fans or whether they're your haters, are trying to use to divide the team. You cannot give them ammo to do that.